Hi guys, and welcome back for another tutorial from Nottingham Music Excellence. So I'm going to begin this week. I'm going to record some grade 2 clarinet music, and I'm going to start off with that really famous tune, the Trout, from the Schubert Trout Quintet. I think this is a super piece for the A pieces. Now, I was a bit undecided for a while whether the I Love My Love was the best piece or the Trout was the best piece out of the book for the A pieces. But having done both with my son, that I Love My Love was just causing so many problems, the B to the C sharp just coming back so many times. We've decided to go with the Trout, and after playing this a few times with him, I think this is a really good piece for if you're in those early stages of learning to play over the break of the instrument. I think this is really great. So stay tuned. I'm going to demonstrate the music, give you a little tutorial on the music, and then I'm going to give you an opportunity to play along with the accompaniment too. Here we go. Okay, so you've heard the music. Now let's just say a few words about some of the details in there and just talk about what you've got to do to make this sound really awesome. So I think first of all, primarily the difficulty of this piece is in the precision of the rhythm. When you get these pieces that just kind of trot along at a steady speed and you've got dotted quavers, semiquavers in there, and it's such a famous tune, you really can't get away with anything on this piece. You've got to play it really, really accurately. So a little word about the dotted quaver, semiquaver. So try to play this as accurately as you can as a 3/4 and a quarter rhythm. Try not to abbreviate it, because that rhythm for young players can very easily turn into 6/8. So try to play. So don't let it turn into. Try not to let it turn into that jolly sort of 6/8 tune. And just leave that semiquaver a little bit later. Now that's quite tricky to do for young players, especially as it passes over that sort of nitty-gritty sort of break part of the instrument. And remember, of course, that this will really show your general ability to play over that part of the instrument. So try not to get too. If that's not going very well and you're struggling to get over the break smoothly, remember that is a general reflection on your overall ability to play around that area of the instrument. So try to practice other things around that part of the instrument. Don't get too bogged down on one bar on this piece. So this is really good actually for practicing the first few notes of G major. And of course, if you've been practicing your scales, that will give you a really good sort of groundwork for going over that part of the instrument too. Now let's just say a little bit about the fingering, because on that, for me, the standard fingering will be to use right hand Cs and then add that for the B. But I found with a lot of young players, and my son included, they just can't make that work very easily at all because they've got smaller hands. So I find that a lot of younger players tend to want to use this left-hand C key. Now, I think this is a bit of a, for me, it feels a little bit more of a clumsy way around the instrument. But if you're struggling to do it the other way around, a lot of young players find this the best way. So left-hand C and a right-hand B. I think this feels a little bit more clumpy, but so a lot of young players will find that the easier way to do it. So bear that in mind. But I think if you can, if you're a bit of an older player, if you're perhaps say over the age of 12 or something like that, and your hands are getting a bit bigger, try if you can to use that for your right hand C and then add that for your B. And the reason that really makes more sense is because you get, say for example, if you were playing C major, it means that when you play that B with both fingers, you've already got the next note down. So it just makes a little bit more sense in that way. Okay. Also, around the middle of the piece where it says MF and it goes on to the third line, I think this is a really nice passage actually for young players to just put a bit of sound into the instrument and just gain a bit of confidence around those break notes as well. And they really are nice notes of the instrument if you can get there. Now that's quite nice because it's not fiddly bitty sort of staccato playing. You can really sort of play some nice legato through the instrument there and still observe the phrasing detail. And just be careful how you go onto that A key there. Another thing that I notice a lot of young players do is they try to go to that A key and they try to sort of jump from A key back to the instrument. Just try and sort of smoothly twist onto that A key. You can practice this by maybe trying F sharp to A. So try to avoid jumping from that A key. You've got to kind of find a way to smoothly rock backwards and forwards off that A key. And this is a really good passage for that. And actually, if you want to be really clever, if you want to really make it smooth, you can really minimize the finger work there. You can keep some of those fingers down. If you're going from a B to an A and then back to B, you don't necessarily have to lift every single finger off. I mean, I could play that and just leave that right hand down. It's not going to make a big difference to the A actually. And then you get a really smooth transition over the break. So I hope that helps. I think that's all the words of wisdom that I'm going to offer you. Oh, just one more little thing. On the last line and the second to last line, there's a lot of A's down there. This might be a bit more of an advanced thing, but you'll find when you play quietly on that A with the piano, the clarinet is often quite sharp on that note. So just be aware of that. A bit more of an advanced trick is to add some fingers there, which will give it a more resonant sound too. So that just sort of dulls down the A slightly and gives it a bit more resonance. That might be a bit fiddly for young players, I think, but that's a really good fix. Like on the last line there, you'll hear me on my performance. I do come down a bit. I perhaps play it a little bit quieter than MP. It's quite nice to have a contrast of dynamics there. So just be aware of that. That note is notoriously, if you play it quietly, can be quite sharp compared to the piano. Okay, so that's it for the tips and tricks. Onwards to what I want you to do now is try and play along with the video. Get your Bluetooth speaker handy or get some headphones, good headphones handy. See if you can play along with the video. I'm going to play it again and knock a little bit more off the tempo, just a little bit slower. And then I'm going to play it again without me playing so that you can play it completely on your own with the piano part at a steady tempo. Hopefully the tempo is manageable for you guys out there. Okay, so here we go. See if you can play along with this in a really tidy way. Okay, so that's it today for the Trout. I hope you enjoyed that video. I hope you found it useful. If you did, of course, give me a thumbs up and maybe consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't already and you want some extra tips and tricks on the clarinet. And I'll see you on the next one. Bye.